Hey, welcome everybody once again to episode 2 of Figgie-tively Speaking. I'm Ray, aka Figgy Smalls, and I'm here with a very, very special guest. I hope you guys are doing well, for my Canadian friends and family here, happy Thanksgiving. And for those tuning in, welcome. Hopefully your weekend's going well. I have a very, very special guest and friend, and I'm a huge fan of his work. Let's bring him in. No other than Mr. C, 50/50. What's up, Mark?
What's happening, Ray? How you doing, Figgy?
I'm good, man. Yeah, are we doing the? Are we calling each? What is it? What was that Spider-Man thing? What he said? Are we calling each other superhero names? I guess. You can call me Ray, or you can call me Figgy Smalls. It all depends.
Ray.
Ray, okay. Mark, it is, man.
Yeah.
What's going on with you, man? What is that massive thing behind you there? I can't not help but look at it.
This is the Great Hall, and
oh wow,
bits and pieces right now. I've been documenting this the last 8 weeks on Instagram.
Absolutely.
So a lot of you guys have seen this. So it's been black wash, dry brush. It's pretty much ready for assembly, but I'm building doors this weekend, so
holy smokes, it's huge.
I've got like big pair of doors to do and 4 single doors to do. So I'm doing the doors. I did these wood floors this weekend. So it should be ready, hoping by Monday to start assembling this thing. It might be done by next weekend.
Perfect, man, perfect.
I'm in the home stretch.
Well, let's get right into it, okay? Because honestly, what's your origin story there, pal?
Origin story.
How did you come about here, man? Did you just wake up one day and start building these things, or what's going on?
As far as action figures go, well, as far as when I started building dioramas.
Yep.
It's a COVID hobby gone wild.
So it was COVID. That's okay. Right on.
People, yeah. I mean, I've built stuff my whole life. I'm older than you. I'm just say in the 40s.
Yeah. Oh, that's not old.
But I grew up. I grew up in the 80s, so I grew
right
up.
on.
I grew up with Star Wars figures live as they were happening. I got the Death Star on Christmas morning.
Yeah.
I collected G.I. Joe from the beginning, so always into action figures, and I would always build play sets and fortresses and stuff for my figures when I was little.
Yeah.
I've always been into building models and miniatures. I work in the construction industry.
Okay.
But I started in college in architecture. I actually was planning on. I actually wanted to be an architectural model builder. Was what I wanted to do as originally my career. Like you go in like a lobby of a building and you'll see a model of the building that's being built next door.
Yep. Oh wow. Okay.
I wanted to build those. That's what I wanted to do, but I ended up not going that route. But I've always built stuff. So COVID, it was like 2 months after the shutdown. We shut down here. I'm in South Florida. March of 2020. Everything was shut down. So this was like May of 2020, and I had just ordered the Black Series Mandalorian and Child figure.
Okay, yep.
They were in the mail. I was waiting for them, and I hadn't even really started collecting figures again like I am now at this point. But it was on the way, and I was like, I'm going to get this figure, and it looks really cool in the box, and cool action shot and stuff. But then I'm going to get it home, and I'm going to like set it on my desk next to the lamp, and
that's
it's not going to look cool anymore. It's just going to look like an action figure next to my lamp. So I was like, I'm going to like buy like a little display thing for it. They can call it a diorama. So I'm just going to buy something. So I went on to Amazon, and I'm looking for like action figure displays and not really finding much. And I go on Etsy, and I'm like, these are kind of expensive. I'm like, I think
very expensive, yeah.
Absolutely. I never even looked at dioramas ever. So I'm like, I could make something like this. So went on to YouTube.
Yeah.
And first tutorial was like, wasn't pink foam. It was white styrofoam, white block of styrofoam and Elmer's glue and some craft paint. And my figure showed up, and I watched the tutorial, and I started building it. And
wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
I wasn't halfway done with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm already going to build another one of these when this one's done for my Kratos figure. And then
I think I saw that picture there. Let's have a look. The Kratos one you said? I think I passed it.
That one's not on here because that one's really old.
Is it this one here?
That one on the left.
I creeped you, man. I've been creeping you, bro.
July 1st, 2020. All right. So
look at that, eh?
That was the second diorama I ever built right there.
Look at that, eh? And it's still, honestly, that's probably like way better than some of the stuff that I could make, right?
So, and then I wasn't halfway done with that one. I was like, I do want to build a third one. So then what happened is, in 2020, I only owned like 6 action figures.
Okay, yeah.
I only bought like a rare figure, like the Kratos, who's like a video game character I liked. And then only because bored COVID, I ordered the Mandalorian. So I wasn't collecting yet.
Yeah.
About 6 figures I had.
Yeah.
Built dioramas for those figures. So I was like, well, if I want to keep building, I'm going to have to start buying figures. So then I started. It's like the diorama building came first with.
Yeah, it's kind of backwards. That's really funny.
Drove my action figure collecting. So I was like, all right, I'm going to buy these Storm collectible skeletons.
Oh, yes.
Because A, I played the game when I was a kid, but B, this would be a cool diorama. So
absolutely.
all these early ones you're looking at.
Yeah.
I would like specifically buy the figure and build the diorama for the figure. Whereas now, I just build the diorama and just put whatever figures in
to go back into it. Eh?
When I first started, I was like really specific about buying a figure and making them their own diorama, and so that's how I got started. Literally ordering a figure during COVID and not wanting it to sit on the shelf.
Yeah, and you know what the funny thing is? Sorry to cut you off. A lot of people, like, I guess got really bored, like you said. They got, I don't know, just stuck inside, and something snapped, right?
Hobbies over
yeah, and you're not the first, and you won't be the last, and to talk about that, right? So it's kind of crazy that way. But look at that, eh? Like look at this, look at all this stuff, and look what you're doing now, and it's absolutely insane.
It's crazy. Really beautiful. I started this literally. I'm a divorced single dad, just nerd building action figure dioramas in my dining room, and now there's people in California and Illinois, and I just shipped one to Texas last week, so it's crazy.
Isn't that insane? My goodness,
it's nuts.
That's awesome, man. Speaking of which, I don't want to come back to. We have a Facebook user over here, folks. Just if you're commenting, as you can see the banner that's going on, make sure you comment on the comment section over here, so you can actually get into the raffle, right? If you actually have to go through StreamYard and acknowledge that you can for the comments to see or your name for to actually go on. So because right now this is absolutely stunning. Whoever said that, Facebook user, I don't know who you are. So if you don't want to do that and put your name, you can even just give me your name so I can enter it into the raffle. Trevor, Miko, Darkblade, I already entered you guys, and as well as Mark over here, right? So yeah, comment and make sure you allow StreamYard to actually put your name down. And if not, just say who you are, and then I'll think. So the way that it's going to work in the middle of the interview, we'll go and do the little spin and the raffle. And if less people comment, even better. Then you guys it'll be a short raffle and whatever. But it is what it is. If you guys can just help me out and pay for the shipping, or maybe you can go half-seas, we'll figure it out. I don't know, but we'll start doing these things. Just kind of doing these giveaways, right? Kid Zombie 07 AJ, what's up, man? How's it going, bud? Bloody hell, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's plastic life. Oh, jeez. Here we go. All right, we'll add plastic life. But anyways, we'll add Kid Zombie as well. So yeah, crazy origin story. And look where you are now. And we're not even. This is like from years ago. And this is things.
That one's pretty old. I built that for my Mezco Nosferatu.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
I actually just sold that one at SuperCon in July a couple months ago.
And yeah, talk about that. Talk really about fun.
That. SuperCon was an amazing experience, and my brother, I've got an older brother, and he builds EVA foam props. He has a YouTube channel.
Come on, are you serious?
Yeah,
it's in the blood.
Yeah. So we had planned for a couple years before COVID that we were going to. Well, I wasn't building yet, but he always said, I'm going to get a booth when I got enough props. I'm going to get a booth at SuperCon and sell my props. And then I started building over COVID, and we said, hey, when COVID's over and SuperCon comes back, we'll get booths together. We'll get booths next to each other. So that's what we did. So he had a corner booth, and I was right next to him. So we took the whole week off of work and made it a whole experience. Went down there Wednesday morning to set up and stuff, but it was really good. My booth got a ton of traffic and a lot of interest, but one of the problems was the demographic there. And not that it was a bad thing, but I didn't realize that 90% of the attendees at SuperCon, I was expected to be all, middle-aged nerds, looking for action figures and stuff, and it was 90% teenage cosplayers, which is fine.
But they're broke.
It was a big cosplay convention. So
okay.
People, younger kids all dressed up, and they'd walk by and be like, "Oh, this stuff is awesome," but again, they're not in the market for it. So
no.
I sold a decent amount. I sold all my small and medium stuff.
Yeah.
I had to sell it for way less than I normally would online, but it wasn't about that. This the other thing, Ray. This whole thing is just a hobby for me. This isn't a job.
Right.
It's a hobby. It's just the money is just, if I make some money off something, great. It's not why I'm doing it. So the whole SuperCon experience was awesome. I'm not going to do it again, just because it did cost. My booth was like $1,000.
What?
And then I had some other. I got a big one. I didn't go in like Artist Alley. I got like a real, like a 10-foot by 10-foot.
Yep, I'm actually pulling it up right now. Yeah,
like in the middle. Yeah, it is. So. I probably barely broke even, which again, that's fine. I wasn't. None of the big stuff in the back there sold, which I understand, because again, I was still at that point. All that stuff in the back is all hot glued solid,
and that's not bad. Yeah, I mean, once again, you can kind of still store that. It's not too bad. But we were talking, I guess, backstage, if you want to. But you want to talk about this one here, bud? The Coliseum. Because you know what, maybe someone out here will be able to buy it. But talk about this one. It sits on the table. That kitchen table is behind me here. It's 5 feet wide, but the arena hangs over about 6 inches on each side. It's about a 6 foot wide total. Oh my God!
3 feet deep, about 3 feet tall. It's got a real sand floor.
Yeah.
But that entire thing is hot glued solid, and the problem is, it's like 6 inches wider than my front door. So.
How'd you get that in?
To get it outside.
Or get it out?
When I was done, I was on one end, my daughter on the other. It's not very heavy.
Yeah.
And I walked backwards. We got it up to the door, and before I moved it out, I've got a big piece of cardboard that's the same size as the arena sand floor. So I put that over the top and put some stuff on to kind of keep the sand from shifting. When I got the diorama to the door, it actually tilted sideways on an angle.
Yeah.
To walk it through the door and then straighten it back up. So it was a pain. You would literally have to have like you'd have to have either a van, like a wide open minivan with no seats in the back, so you can come pick this thing up from me. So I don't think it's ever going anywhere. It's in storage right now. It's in the storage unit wrapped in plastic. But
was there any damage though? Was there any damage when you guys?
Oh no.
Oh wow! So it's built
So
pretty
yeah,
solid then, eh? Like
it's
to
super
withstand
solid.
that. Yeah.
And the other thing is that you can't see from the pictures, but
Look how tall that is.
I only built the thing so that it's, everything you're seeing from there is, finished, but the entire backside where I'm standing is unfinished.
Right.
So when you're looking from the sides, it's all just exposed pink foam, and it doesn't look good from the sides. And if I ever did sell that, I would want to take the time to close the sides in, and that'd be like a month plus of work. So,
Oh wow.
because I would enclose the sides, so if you're looking at it from the side, you would see like a stone facade or something, kind of like these walls behind me.
Right. Right.
So,
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah, it was a fun project, man. It was a blast. I just didn't pre-plan it very well and just built it. And
well, do you find that your background in construction, obviously, does it help?
absolutely,
Right.
yeah, yeah. I'm in the management side now. I'm a senior
Yeah.
estimator, but I've worked in the field, back when I was younger, and I do all my own work around my house. So it absolutely, I feel, helps when I build stuff because I look at it just from a more. I mean, everything I build is medieval fantasy anyway, so it's
Right.
the reason I like to do that is there's kind of no rules.
Yep.
You'll notice in my entire feed, I literally have one. I have one superhero diorama, and that's it. I don't build. I don't build alleyways. I don't build loading
Yep.
docks. I don't build rooftops. I don't build warehouses. There's
Mhm.
so many guys that do all that stuff awesome. So I'm pretty much, fantasy
Yeah.
stonework, but you can do crazy things that don't make sense and get away with it because it's just fantasy
Right.
medieval. So it doesn't,
Yeah. No, absolutely. I know,
cool.
like, in regards to, the brickwork and stuff like that, and the people that are doing those things, um, I believe his name is Revo. I forget his name. I think he's in the east there. He kind of built those uh, building alleyways. I can't. It's just the buildings,
Yeah,
right? And it's
so
just
many good
perfection.
ones.
And oh man, it's just spot on, right? Like every
Yeah,
brick is
there's also
perfection.
when you're building something that's in real life, it's
Yeah,
going to be it has to look real,
it's
or
gonna be
else it's going to
scrutinized. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
going to look off. If the dumpster doesn't look right, the dumpster's oversized or too
right.
small, or a door, you're going to notice right away. Whereas with medieval fantasy, it's you don't know what's going on anyway.
No,
So yeah,
absolutely.
those guys that do these alleyways, man, with lights and dumpsters and
Yeah.
steel doors, roll up doors and stuff. I'm like, these are incredible.
Oh,
Um,
this is they trade those to make to be able to make these things as well, right? It all goes together, right?
absolutely. So yeah, that was
And
the
you know
arena
what?
right there.
If you don't mind, like, do you mind kind of like us asking you, folks, comment if you have any comments or questions. Just
Yeah,
go
absolutely.
um, comment and I'll try to read them out and stuff like that. But I got some questions. I'm a huge fan, right? Does it
Yeah.
for I don't know if you guys can all kind of see this, but like in this area over here, there's a lot of. It looks like each individual stone is it's by itself, and do you like take the time to literally, kind of eke it out each way,
Yeah,
or is it
so what I
like,
do is I make these build albums too. I've got an imager site. I've got an imager page,
yeah,
and I do these detailed build albums. So when I pretty much almost I haven't built one on the last few builds, but pretty much every diorama I've posted on Instagram,
yeah,
there's also a build album for it on Imager, and that shows every step from beginning to end.
right,
So
okay,
with my how I do my uneven stonework, I start with a regular um, the wall drawn out on a flat piece of foam,
yeah,
my stonework, and I cut it out and carve it and all that, just flat.
yeah,
And then I'll just choose random blocks, and I'll take one of those really long, skinny, like retractable hobby knives,
yeah,
and I'll just poke through, and I'll cut a random block out all the way on all four sides. Okay, so now you can either push it in with your thumb, like into the wall, or you can
okay,
push it out from the back. It's loose, or you can take it all the way out altogether. But you basically just go through and cut out individual blocks from the flat wall, and then you can push them in or push them out and then secure them from the backside with hot glue, and now you've got that random, uneven, wall appearance.
Wow, beautiful. I'm telling you, man, it looks like you're literally building, or it was built like block by block. Absolutely insane.
You can take a whole wall and just go in random and maybe make 10% of the blocks uneven.
Yeah.
But it tricks your brain into thinking that there's more out of place than there really are. It's kind of crazy. So I'll take a whole wall and I'll just maybe cut out 10 blocks and push them in or out, or make them half crooked or something, and glue them from the backside. It makes that whole wall look just uneven and kind of out of place. And
absolutely,
it's something I use on almost every build. This one behind me, I actually did not, because everything I always build is ruined. I love ruins. I love stuff that's half fallen apart.
Yeah.
The arena wasn't. The arena was in pretty good shape, but with this one behind me, the Great Hall, I wanted it in pretty good shape. I wanted it to be like it was built fairly recently. I didn't want stones. I didn't want rubble. Although rubble's my favorite. I love having rubble scattered all over the floors and stuff. But with the Great Hall, I want it to be, nice looking and, not in a state of decay at this point. So
right.
Plus, it saved me a little time. There's so many walls on this thing. If I would have done uneven blocks on this thing, it would have added.
Here, I'm gonna actually put you here just so that people can actually see you. Like look at this. It's literally. I mean, how tall are you? Just so people can get
That's
like
just
a
everything
scale.
loose on the table right now. But it's just. I mean, there's just.
Yeah, stand beside it. It's like massive. Look at that! Holy smokes, man!
There's just pieces behind pieces, and
oh my god,
so it's all ready for assembly.
And this one, you said once again backstage, you learned your lesson, and you said that this one is fully magnetized, right?
It's going to be, yeah. I mean, now some of the pieces are still going to be big. Like that's
right.
That's still going to be one component.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, that's like almost 24 inches tall, probably. So that's about the size of the pieces. But yeah, everything's going to be magnetized. Like a chunk of a stair, like that size.
Look at that.
I didn't want to have it in a million pieces, so it was impossible to put back together.
And that's it, man. Now it's actually possible. Like, I mean, it's still going to be a little bit. If you are in the Florida area, even better for Mark or Mista.
Yeah,
right.
This one's going to be. It's going to be shippable.
Folks, this one's for sale. Is it for sale? I don't know. Is it for sale?
It's going to be. Yeah, the Great Hall will be for sale when it's
the Great Hall's for sale, man.
You can DM me on Instagram if you're interested. It's going to be shippable, but I'm not going to lie. Shipping is going to be freaking expensive.
Right.
Because what I've learned, Ray, since I've started selling dioramas, it's not. First of all, it's not the weight of the boxes are light as air.
Of course, it's the size.
It's the size of the boxes. So, the freaking box size, the shipping cost for box sizes is killing me. So this thing is going to be in 2 pretty big boxes. One thing I do want to look at though, I only ever shipped with FedEx or UPS.
Yeah.
I might actually look into like freight, like common, like literally like a freight company, because it's probably going to be less, because from what I've been pricing on like UPS and FedEx and what I ship.
Yep.
The size boxes, I'm going to need 2 boxes to put all this stuff in, and each of those boxes is going to be like $300 to ship.
Oh,
so that's
my
like
God.
600. That's if I use like FedEx or UPS, because I shipped my Krampus diorama to Four Horsemen Studios in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Last year when I built it, I shipped it to them as a gift.
Yeah.
And I shipped it from Florida to New Jersey, and it was a big box.
Yeah.
It was like $325 to ship.
Holy smokes.
So I'm thinking, like, freight has got to be cheaper than So that's the Great Hall assembled.
Look at that, eh?
So it's about 4.5 feet wide by 3 feet deep by about 3 feet tall.
Oh my gosh.
So
well, let's take a look at that for the folks that are watching for now. But I'm gonna go through the chat a little bit, right? Kid Zombie.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, a little intimidated. I think they were talking about. The previous comment that I want to show is Scott says his work has completely inspired me to get into making dios for my GI Joes. And GI Joes for fun, so make sure we follow Scott here. GI Joes for fun.
What's up, man?
And how he says that people are intimidated. Do you have any? And it was actually somebody that said too. Do you have any maybe advice for people that are starting out? That kind of want to dig into this crazy world.
I will say this, and it's not to promote anything because I don't get anything from Imager, but listen, I send a lot of people to my Imager page.
Yeah.
Because I literally go step by step. I've got about 30 to 40 dioramas on there.
Yeah.
I go step by step. Like some of these albums are like 200 pictures. It's like I cut this line, picture. I do this, picture. So it's step by step from beginning to end. So I send a lot of people there to start.
Yeah.
But it's just practice and repetition. And a lot of practice, a lot of repetition, and obviously it is artistic as well. So there is artistic skill involved.
Yeah.
Some people are if you're remotely crafty at all. Yeah. You can build these things. Or your version of what you want to build. But there's a lot of people have good tutorials. I don't do anything on YouTube. I just don't. I don't have a YouTube channel or nothing on video or YouTube. But there's a lot of other people that do great tutorials. But yeah, just practice and reading up and watching other people, their techniques and what they do, and that's how I learned everything. I mean, was just watching YouTube videos and watching tutorials and stuff, and then just practicing on my own, figuring stuff out on my own too.
Perfect. That's like you said, man, there's honestly no rules, and as you can see, I'm not making fun of it by any means, because that looks like exactly like my work. I showed it earlier, but I'm going to try to find it again. In the meantime, I'm going to show his second dio that he made. I'm going to find it. But in the meantime, we got Kid Zombie 07 AJ. For Mista, do you have a preferred foam and tools you'd like to use?
Foam, absolutely. The pink foamular that you see in those pictures. I know in different parts of the country and like in Canada and stuff, there's different kinds of foam.
Yep.
I have learned that foam is definitely regional. So in South Florida, we got two choices. You got the pink foamular, which is from Home Depot.
Yep.
And you've got the blue, which is made by the pink foamular is Owens Corning, and the blue is Dow. That's at Lowe's. I'm definitely a foamular man. That's all I've ever used, and that's all I ever will use. And I'm really lucky down here. I know in some parts of the country, all they sell is 4x8 sheets, so you have to buy it. And those are the sheets that have like all the black graphics printed on, like the Pink Panther and all that crap. Words. And people have to buy it and like cut it up in their like in the Home Depot parking lot to get in their car and stuff. Down here in South Florida, all they sell is the 2 foot by 2 foot by 1 foot thick. They're called project panels.
Okay.
And they're sold in like a big like they're shipped to Home Depot in a big cardboard case.
Yeah.
And that's also like they cut it open. That's also like the display for Home Depot. It sits on the floor. And they know people use it for crafts because when you walk up to it on the display, it shows ideas of things you can do, and it shows them using it for crafts. So
correct, yeah.
I don't know if they sell that up by you, but and there's no graphics printed on it. There's no Pink Panther stuff printed on it. It's just plain pink. So that's all I use. All I use is the because I tell you, I would get distracted like trying to draw and build on pink foam with like the Pink Panther's freaking face on it.
On the back,
R10. I'm like, man, that would drive me freaking nuts.
No, absolutely.
So I'm lucky that I just have the all pink, project panels down here. But yeah, that's my preferred foam and tools. I don't have a whole lot, man. I honestly don't. I have a, big, heavy style utility knife for, making your big cuts, like cutting your big pieces.
Are you serious? Oh, wow. Okay.
That's just for like if I'm cutting, like one of those panels down into 2 pieces.
Okay, all right.
That's not my favorite. And then just a regular X-Acto.
Okay, good,
And this is like that long, skinny hobby kind of blade that I use when I cut out my blocks.
Yep.
And that's it. I mean, cheapo Michael's Hobby Lobby brushes and
Perfect.
all the cheapest paints and like some straight edges and some wire brushes for wood grain. But you can get set up, man, for literally $50.
Yep.
You could go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and get everything you need to get started and have money to go and buy a couple pieces of foam at Home Depot.
100%.
And one piece of formula, or one 2 foot by 2 foot piece of formula, you can build a dead off size diorama. So if you've got a dead off, for $7 you've got enough foam for a dead off diorama.
Perfect. Yeah, 100%.
So it's an inexpensive hobby to get into,
I guess. And then you start looking at a 3D printer for all your little things, and then start going
it's
crazy.
one thing I don't do.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have a 3D printer.
Yeah.
Any little bits I do need for my dioramas, I make out of styrene.
Okay.
Like like if I make a wood door and there's like the metal straps on it, that hold the wood planks together. I make those out of styrene. And that's it. Yeah, no 3D. I don't have a 3D printer, and I haven't really used any. I see some guys like Law Creations that use a 3D printer and makes, dioramas with foam and adds 3D printed parts, and that's awesome. But that seems like 3D printing seems like such a rabbit hole to go down that I just don't have the time to do.
Oh, but it's
You
everybody thinks it's so easy. I thought it was so easy. I'm actually in the process.
So you're into it, okay?
Oh no, I'm in the process of literally trying to. I don't want to get into it too much, but it's just it's such a kind of newer technology now that it's available to the public, the ones that actually are affordable,
right?
And it doesn't come easy, man. And I've been reaching out to my friends that are actually really good and kind of trying to figure it out. But once again, it's like there's so many things in life that this is not like, okay, I'm going to set it up, boom, easy prints, right? It takes time to kind of like, like this, right? Like from July 2020 to October 2020, you put in that time. Like, look at the difference, right? It's going to be the same thing with
when I get into something, I have a habit, as you've seen behind me, of going overboard. So if I try, that's why I can't do a YouTube channel, because I'm like, these people are experts in freaking editing and all, and I'm like, I would have to learn. I know I could, but I'm like, I do not have the time to learn all that. And I read about people, having to spend 6 and 8 hours editing. That would be me, because I would want it to be perfect. And I'm like, that's a whole nother component that I got zero. I'm a full-time single parent. And, career, and I'm like, I have no time to have a YouTube channel. So that's why I at least do the Imager albums. But I got to say, man, I had a policy when I started. I did not post an album to Instagram without an accompanying Imager album. But I've been slacking, and the last probably 4 or 5 months, I haven't done a build album. So I've only been. I've been taking some pictures with this one behind me, but not like I usually do. Not every step, because it just it got hard, man. I was literally like, every step I would take a picture. Yeah,
and it takes so much longer, right?
It does. So I've been lazy lately. It's been easier to sit down and just start building. But,
if I can take a quick break, sorry, folks. I just want to, for the people coming back in, as you can see the ticker going saying, make sure you comment in the chat, and thank you for people that are commenting in the chat. But make sure there's a Facebook user that says, "That's huge." I don't know who you are, so it's either you allow StreamYard to actually use your name, and it's just have to click on to that part of it, and you'll be able to do that, or you just say, "Hey, I'm like Mark," or "I'm Ray," and then I'll be able to put you into the actual raffle, which will be happening very soon. Make sure you do that, or you comment your name so I can put you in. And Scott Wise, a question: ball of aluminum foil and a solid black wash. Teach us about why the black wash makes it pop. Because I think he's a follower of yours, because you that's your favorite part, isn't it?
Man, it is. I call it instant realism in a bottle. And the first time I learned about blackwash was from Black Magic Craft on YouTube.
Love that channel.
And you know, one thing, I learned a tremendous amount from mini builders when I started from Black Magic Craft. So because it's just the same thing scaled up, and the same kind of fantasy medieval stuff. So Black Magic Craft had done a video about how to paint a wall and how to blackwash it, and I washed it and studied it. And when I built one of my first dioramas on my Instagram is my Gold Neck Skeletons diorama, and I followed his identical, wall painting and blackwash recipe. But it just you carve it, and then you prime it all black with black Mod Podge, and then you paint it on. And on the left, it's so bright and ridiculous and looks so fake, but you just got to tell yourself it's not going to look like that in the end once you blackwash it. And the blackwash has a little bit of dish soap in it, which acts as a flow aid and helps it really get all the cracks and crevices. So
yeah,
it just, you can see on the right, it flows into all those cracks that you made that got covered up with paint. They all come back out and they all pop and settles down into all the joints between the blocks, and fills that in, just adds a level of, it's like a realism filter. It literally, look at from the left to the right there. It's just, and then once it dries, it lightens up. This one I did pretty dark, I remember, but it's like where the magic happens, man, is blackwashing.
Absolutely. I actually we have a question over here. Mike Dejevsky, aka Plastic Life, says, and I already know the answer because it's a little bit different, maybe in the States, but you go ahead. Where do you get your styrene sheets?
So the stuff I use is the pink foam. That's XPS Insulation Foam, and that's sold at Home Depot. And then Lowe's sells a blue version. Polystyrene is I think like the white, like regular styrofoam that's made of balls. It's compressed, it like breaks apart and crumbles apart in the balls. I know they sell that like at Michael's, and that's what I used like my very first few dioramas.
Yeah.
And then when I found out the people that were really into building dioramas use pink foam, like on my third or fourth build, I switched over to pink foam.
Oh, I see. Is he talking about the styrene though? I think it's like when you're little more...
Oh, styrene. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Styrene.
Yeah.
Styrene sheets. Okay. I've actually got the bag right here.
Yeah.
This brand is like Evergreen Scale Models. I bought this at Hobby Lobby, but they sell it online. And it comes in these little bags. And it'll come with like 2 sheets in a bag. And different thicknesses, like this is .030. I've got thicker stuff, 040 and 050. And it's really easy to use. You cut it with an X-Acto knife, and then you glue it with this Tester's cement. And I learned how to use this from Boyle Hobby Time, who's on YouTube.
Yep.
Caleb, he did a Stormtrooper diorama out of styrene a couple of years ago, and I built my Darth Vader diorama out of styrene. So I watched his video like a million times, and also I'm a big Adam Savage fan.
Yeah.
And Adam Savage has a great video of working with styrene, so I watched both those videos over and over, and sat down and I built the Vader diorama on my first try out of styrene. I'd only been building for a couple months. I was shocked I was able to do it, but it's just a really cool tool. So I use it for little tiny things that would be much easier nowadays to just 3D print them. But I just scratch build them still. But I don't build the types of dioramas I build. Not many things have components like that I need. So only like I said, I'm doing like iron straps on the door or something like I'm doing for this build.
Right.
But most builds I don't really even need it or use it. But
is it expensive though?
That little bag I showed you was like $4.59.
What? Okay, so the thing is, for us Canadians, I don't know where to get this stuff, and I think Mike, that's why he's asking, because Amazon's out.
any hobby shop. So this is really used a lot by like the model train community, like how they build like houses.
But is
and
it
stuff.
$4 or it would be like probably like $10? I'm not too sure.
I'm not
Ours
sure
is
like
like super
what the
expensive.
exchange is.
Yeah.
I'm not, yeah. So, but yeah, this is sold more like model railroad, like those
So
kind
there
of
you
hobby
go.
shops.
So this bag you're telling me, Mike, is $30. I don't know. They must import it and they must jack up the price
Holy
because
cow. Now
we
they
get
also sell
hammered.
they do sell different sizes. They sell like in 12 by 12, like 12
Okay.
inches by 12, like big square pieces. I've ordered it on Amazon. It's way cheaper on Amazon than in person. At least
Maybe
yeah.
you know what? Maybe we'll figure it out, Mike. We'll maybe do like a group buy or something. I'm down for some
But
styrene.
if you've got like a model train kind
Yeah.
of hobby shop in your area, they would probably sell that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check
That
it out.
community like uses it a lot.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think, Mark? Raffle time?
Sure.
Raffle time? Okay, all right. So you guys know how these raffles work. Everybody's raffles are the same. But let's go for it. Once again, do you even know what you're raffling or what you're getting? But it's actually showing right here with the raffle. 1 second. But yeah, all right. So, whoa, hold on. If there's Iron Man fans out there, this is what you guys are getting. Alex Cross Iron Man, what you want to call it? I don't know what you want to call it, right? But this Iron Man is pretty sick. And it'll be yours if you guys can help me out maybe with the shipping. Let's have a look so there's more comments. I want to make sure that I'm not missing anybody. Adam Drake is in the house. I guess Adam, I'll add you. Adam Drake's in the house. Last chance, last call. Anybody else? Comment up. Drake. Miracle is in the house. What's up? He's actually okay. So Adam, these are good comments here. I just don't want to. We'll talk about all that stuff later. So far I got Miko. Is it Miracle? It's Miko. Miko, Darkblade, Missa, 50/50, Trevor, Plastic Life, Kid Zombie,
You know what,
AJ.
actually, Ray, honestly, you can either take me out, or if it lands on me, spin it again.
Wow, look at that, eh? Okay, I'm not gonna take you out, but if it does,
I'm not a Marvel Legends or superhero guy. So I don't
Yeah?
know.
all right. If we'll take him out. We don't want to mess things up, right? But last chance, folks. Before we start spinning here. All right, we're gonna go for it. And here you go. I guess last person standing. All right, last person standing here. Best of luck to everybody with the Iron Man. And help me out with the shipping. Maybe we can do. If it's really expensive, maybe you can do halfsies. Who knows, right? But who we got? Who we got here? Trevor. Oh, is it Plastic Life? Plastic
Ooh.
Life. No.
Oh, I don't know.
Sorry, bud. Sorry.
Okay.
KJ Smith. Oh, did we add KJ Smith? You know what? KJ's in there. You're not the winner. Sorry, pal. We're gonna remove you.
Close, though.
But I will add KJ, even though he's a little bit late. All good in the hood. All good in the hood. KJ's in the house. All right, and one more spin last. Sorry, Mike. Yeah, and it was funny because you're like the closest person to me, so it would have been easy. I would have just dropped it off to your house, but you know, it is what it is, right? What do we got? What do we got here? Who's next? Who's getting the axe? Scott Y?
I don't think so.
Oh, is it Miss? Oh, it's Caitlin. Actually, that's a lie. She actually is the closest to me. I think she's right down the road going east. But I'm sorry. Sorry, but yeah, this is actually the wife of, or the one of the duo, the wonderful duo at CJism, if you guys already know, right? But yeah, who's this? We got a Facebook user saying hello or hey. Is it too late to add them, guys? What's going on? I don't know. Facebook user, it's either you allow StreamYard to use your name, or you tell me who you are, because I don't know who you are. All right. Spin it again. Here we go. Stuck watching Werewolf by Night. Is that Sean? Who is that? I think that's Sean, buddy. Sean, is that you? Say something, and I'll add you in. It's Jay. Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, Jay. BC Sasquatch Man. Oh, Adam Drake or KJ Smith? KJ Smith. Oh, Adam just survived. Very nice, very nice. KJ, thanks for coming out, buddy. And I'll add BC Sasquatch Man. And I can't type. I'm sorry. There you go. All right. Again. It's all good. It's all good. What do we got? What do we got? Kid Zombie? Kelly Chase? Kelly Chase.
Yep.
Good times, buddy. Almost. I should call you Almost. What's happening? This is for people that are coming in. This Iron Man here, Alex Cross, people like to call it. And Kelly Chase did not win. He's actually being removed from the thing, right? So it's a last person standing type situation. But yeah, any plugs that you want to plug there while we're doing this? Mark, aka Mr. 5050, Mr. C 5050.
No, just I do have a couple things for sale, but we could talk about that later even. But not really doing commissions, but just sometimes I'll build some stuff and decide to sell it. So I've got a few things, that I still have around right now. But
sorry, Trevor. Thanks for coming out, bud. All right, we got 5 people. So you're not going to do any commissions, you said, eh? No commissions, huh?
Well, not really at the moment. I more just prefer to build and then put it up for sale. I got a couple people that I have sold to, though, that I've told, if they ever want anything, since they bought from me before, that I'd make them something custom. So I'll probably be doing a couple of those too down the road here, but
right on.
Keep them busy, but not full blown, taking commissions.
Yeah. Sorry, Miko. Actually, the first person I put up there, he was the first comment, but I would have loved it to be him, but next time, buddy. I asked for a recount. Don't storm my house, man. Don't storm my house. No recounts, buddy. That would have cost $30 to ship to me. It's all good, man. It's all love. I would have sent it to you anyways, Trev. Because you're supporting here, man. You're supporting. Kid Zombie. Sorry, pal. He was in Montreal, so that would have been all right too to ship there. But good time. So we're down to 3 people. We're down to 3 people here. Let's keep her going. I never win these things. I never ever win these raffles. I always get kicked out like the first or second person. It's pretty brutal, but
I didn't realize it was like an elimination like this. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, so were you like, sorry man, I know it's taking a little bit longer, but it's more fun.
No,
like, you can't do one spin and that's it.
I know. I didn't at first. I was like, why is he spinning again and again? And I'm like, oh, it's an elimination. That was a little slow there.
Scotty Y, man. Scotty. Oh, here we go. Here we go for all. It's an all BC standoff, eh? Here we go. Oh, God. For all the marbles. For all the marbles.
All right.
It's funny because these guys are like...
Whoever this lands on wins, or whoever this lands on gets kicked out.
Oh, whoever... Yeah. Gets kicked out.
Yeah,
gets kicked out.
Like
so BC Sasquatch, man. Look at that, say. Adam, good times, but I'll send you something anyways, man. You're just such a good guy. But congrats to, not Adam, but actually congrats to BC Sasquatch, man. Good times, good times. So Jay, just give me your address, man. Well, we talk anyways, but just give me your address. I'll ship it out there for you. And thanks for coming out, everybody. Thanks for doing that. That was pretty fun. But a couple more things over here. He does have to pick up his daughter because with her prom or whatever it is that you guys call it down there.
I'm not
Homecoming.
Sure.
You're not too bad? Okay.
I got plenty of time.
He's got plenty of time. There you go. So guys, like this is like an all-star like pretty much royalty when it comes to dio making. So ask away, man. Ask away. I think there was a couple of questions up here with I didn't even read the question. Forgive me if it's already been asked. Foil ball to texture the stone. How do you get each block to look so unique? We did ask about this, and we did talk about it, but we can talk about just very quickly, I guess.
Foil ball and rocks, just rocks from outside.
Yeah.
I'll start by, if you look at one of my albums, you can see, but I'll start by drawing the pattern out on the piece of foam for the wall, all the block joints. Then I'll carve them out, and then I'll start with the ball of foil for just like basic texture. And then to get the deep damage, I start going over with a rock and pressing the rock down in the foil, and that cracks the foam and stuff. That's just like putting down some basic texture there. And it's funny, that diorama right there, that's the one I just shipped that to Texas last week. And I built that like a year and a half ago.
Wow.
But yeah, so and like I mentioned before too about, cutting out individual blocks so you can push them in and out. That helps, make the wall look more unique and not so flat, or gives it more visual interest.
I know, sorry man, I was just reading the comments here. BC Sasquatch, man, please send it to someone who caught the show. Well, you're catching the show now and you're getting the figure, so that's that. What a kind gentleman, what a kind-hearted man he is. But no, Jay, you deserve it, man. You won. But also, here's another question here. Do you have a favorite line of figures?
That's a good question. I don't know if I have a favorite. Well, I've got main lines. I don't collect a ton of lines. It's funny because I grew up with Star Wars figures in the 70s and 80s, but I don't collect Black Series at all. No Star Wars figures. Mm-hmm. I grew up with Masters of the Universe. I don't collect any Masters of the Universe.
Yep.
My two big lines are Mythic Legions, of course, because all the stuff I build is that fantasy medieval, and G.I. Joe Classified. But my favorite brand, my favorite manufacturer, I'd have to say is Neca. I feel for the price point with Neca, you're getting a premium figure with ridiculous detail, amazing paint apps on Neca figures, and they're not super expensive. Yeah. So like this Universal Monsters line is outstanding.
It's funny. I was just clicking on that picture. Go ahead. Sorry.
The Kratos and Atreus 2-pack from a couple years back, and like I've got my Nathan Drake Uncharted figure.
Yeah.
I absolutely love NECA. I've got the Dungeons and Dragons Grim Sword and Warduke pre-ordered. So NECA figures are my favorite figures, but I don't collect a ton of NECA lines. Like I don't collect Predator. I don't collect. It's really just a handful of NECA. I don't collect any horror figures. I don't have Jason or Michael Myers or any of those. Freddy. So I know a bulk of NECA is Predator and horror. I'm more, really selective with NECA, but NECA is my favorite.
Really?
But my favorite line is probably Mythic Legions. I love Four Horsemen Studios. I love the guys there. I love what they do. I hate waiting 18 months for my figures, but when they show up, they're freaking awesome. They're very, very reasonably priced.
Absolutely.
They could be charging way more, and they're not, which is super cool. So I'd probably say, but Classified also, listen, I'm not happy with Hasbro, but Classified is huge for me because, again, I grew up with G.I. Joe in the 80s, so having a 6-inch line that look as incredible as they do is just... So it's really Classified and Mythic Legions are my two lines, with some NECA like random thrown in, and that's really it. Like I said, Zero. I eliminate a whole headache from my life without being a superhero guy. Like I don't watch Marvel movies. I'm just not into. It's funny. Like I love like dragons and wizards. That's good, but I'm not into superhero stuff like at all. So I don't buy I have literally the one Batman. You're scrolling through. I've got the one Mafex Batman. Which
I saw that. Yeah.
That's literally the only superhero because it was such an amazing figure. I'm like, I have to own this figure.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh crap! Now I have to build like a modern day diorama form. So that's the only one in my.
And that is like you were talking about. You don't really do like building dials. This is probably like one of the greatest like building dials that I've seen. Like this is spot on. I saw this thing and look at it. It's madness.
I had a good time with it, but that's probably the one and only you'll ever see from me.
It's so clean, dude. It's so clean.
Thank you.
But
I love Classified, and I'm excited for these new. I'm excited for the Indiana Jones line from Hasbro.
Ah, yes, yep.
I collected. I had the original Kenner Indiana Jones figures in the '80s from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yep.
So I'm really excited, to get these going.
Before we answer Adam's question here, like guys, blow up the chat here. Because, this guy loves his G.I. Joes and his Classified, but he doesn't want to build dials for it. I personally want to see that.
I love Classified, but I will never, ever in a million years build like a modern military diorama. It'll never happen. There's just so many guys are so good at it, and I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't have the desire to.
Oh my gosh, I would love to see that. But Adam says, with the large builds like the one you're working on now, do you plan map everything first, or start with something like a staircase and work your way out from there?
It's really funny you asked that question about the one behind me because I literally started. I'm not even kidding. I started with this staircase.
Look at that! Yeah,
that's the main stair that goes right up the middle. And I actually started. It was literally all born from the pair of doors because I had to set up my width of everything. Because I'm really mathematical with my builds sometimes,
right?
Too, with widths and things, and that's from my construction background, I think. So, I literally started with the pair of doors, and I said, all right, I want this pair of doors to be oversized. I set some figures in front of it. I figured it's going to be 10 inches wide, 2 5-inch leaves. And then once I set, and I knew this thing was going to be big. That's it. I didn't know how big, but I knew it was going to be big. And once I got that set of castle doors width set, then from there, I set the width of this set of stairs. And I built that set of stairs. And then this one all grew out from there. So your question about does it grow from there? This one did exactly what you asked.
Look at that, eh?
It grew out from the stair, from that one stair.
Beautiful. And look at this. Miko Darkblade. Wow, just got a confirmation my Headless Horseman is finally underway during this live stream. That's what happens when you watch our live streams, man.
Mine's coming tomorrow.
There you go, right? See, when you watch this live stream.
Friday, I got Stalker and the Twins and my Viper 3-pack.
I didn't even know that started shipping already.
I got them from Amazon, so I always do. I always do Pulse and Amazon, whatever ships first. So Amazon shipped first. So I got those on Friday. Beautiful. I'm getting Headless Horseman tomorrow on a Sunday, which is surprising, but I'll take it.
Right on. So you were talking about perhaps some dios for sale, you said?
Yeah, right now if you go back to my Instagram main page.
Yep.
And it's going to be where my newer stuff is, so up more current in time.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry.
That one red
one
here? Right. Go up one above upper right.
This one right here?
Yeah. That one, that perch that I built for Varg, it's kind of crazy because it's red, but I've got that one on. It's shippable. It's magnetized. It comes apart in a couple pieces.
Beautiful.
You can set any kind of figures on it, but yeah, when Varg was announced a year and a half ago, I don't know why. At the time, I said I'm going to build him some kind of red stone cropping to stand on. And then
beautiful.
It showed up a year later, and I built it. So I got that one, and I've got another one that's right around that one that's shippable. you go back to my...
Is it, what are these, like Detolf,
No, that barb one is pretty big. It's deceiving. It's like
okay.
18 inches wide.
Is it these guys? I don't know.
That one in the lower right, that Egyptian ruins,
the Egyptian dude, yeah.
Temple ruins. That one is.
Let me see if I can try to find it here. Oh, here you go.
Yeah, if you go, yeah, it's right there. The column is magnetized. The back wall is hot glued, but the column is magnetized. But it's shippable, and that one's finished. It's 360 degrees, so there's not pink foam on the back. If you spin the back around, it's carved on all sides. That one's 360.
And it doesn't have to be just Egyptian style. I'm thinking this is the same. Yeah, this is the same Dio, right?
Mythic Legions go. So I've got both those available now, and they're both shippable.
Hit them up, and you can just DM you or on Instagram.
DM me on Instagram.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, any after? I mean, you're still in the midst of this one, and I know this Dio's. You're about a couple of weeks out until you're able to.
I should start. I should start assembling this thing like Monday or so, like a little bit each night after work, and it'll probably be assembled by next weekend. And I might spend next weekend doing some final little details and stuff. Yeah. So probably like a week and a half or so will be done.
So what's the next? Who's on deck? What's on deck? What's the next thing?
I'm dying. I'm already bummed because I love certain dioramas. I love getting built for certain time. Like I always love doing a Halloween and a Christmas diorama.
Yeah.
And last year they announced Krampus like at the beginning of December.
Yeah.
And I knew I'd have them by Christmas, so I dropped everything I was doing on like December 1st. Yeah. And I started building my Krampus diorama, and I had it done a couple of days before Christmas, right when he showed up. And with the Headless Horseman, he was announced on October 1st. I wanted so bad to put this thing on pause.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to build a Headless Horseman diorama and have it done for Halloween. But I decided to keep going on this, and but I'll build a Headless Horseman diorama next, but it won't be ready till after Halloween.
Well, that's all right. I'm looking forward to that, man.
That'll probably just a keep or see. The other thing too is Ray. I didn't get into like the only reason I started selling these.
Yeah.
Was because I still have the room. If I lived in some big ass house and I had like a gigantic man cave that was like the size of like a master bedroom suite.
Yeah.
I probably would have never sold a diorama by now, but
right.
I live in a small house and I've got my dead off that holds 12 dioramas.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. I mean, this thing looks pretty sweet.
Most of those are gone now. I've sold probably over half of them. So it's got a bunch of empty cubes now.
Okay.
And I've retired a lot of those because a lot of those I built when I first started, and they're like, I don't want to sound like ridiculous, but they're like not up to my.
No, that's totally fine.
I'm like, these things are not for display anymore. So I've pulled some of them, and a lot of them I've sold. But every time I sit down to build one, I'm just like. I hate building. I feel like I'm stuck in these little boxes, and I always want to make something like I always need like 1 extra inch, and like it doesn't fit, and I'm like frustrated. So that's why I've been saying like screw it lately, just build these like ridiculously big ones.
No, I'm telling you exactly right. Yeah, I'm up there. Like, just give me your address, and when you throw these dials away, I'll be over there just like going through your trash.
The dead off does not look like that right now. It's probably, like I said, like probably half empty.
Really, eh? Okay, so Krampus is probably. Is it going to be? I don't want to put you out, but is it going to be a Detolf, or is it going to be something bigger? Something
The Headless Horseman one's probably going to be bigger because it's the figure, it's the horse.
Yeah.
I'm going to want to build some kind of a covered bridge thing or something. So.
Ooh, okay, right on.
It's going to grow and be big.
Right
nothing like behind me, but it's not going to fit the dead off.
Yeah.
So
I love it. Good times. But folks, what do you guys? A couple more questions, maybe. I know he's got to go, but a couple more building questions, a couple more questions in general. and then we'll kind of start wrapping things up a little bit. Take her away, though. You got anything else that you want to talk about, Mark? This is your time, man. This is your time. This is
not really. Just this whole community. So like, I was a huge collector as a kid, obviously in the '80s and stuff. Then like most of us, you get into high school, so sold all my figures in high school. And I didn't collect in my 20s or 30s, but I always stayed up to speed on action figures. If I had to do a Target or Walmart run, I'd always go to the action figure section first just to look. Or once I had my daughter, Toys R Us runs, I'd always go down the action figure lane. So although I wasn't buying, I was always still, hip to what was going on, if you will. And then once I got in my 40s, really not until COVID a few years ago, like I said, is when I started buying again, and now I'm full blown, spending a ton of money on it. But the community is amazing. The action figure community, the whole, all these things go together. The action figure dioramas, mini terrain, mini D&D builders, mini painters, all this kind of hobbyists all kind of merge together. Like I said, I've learned a ton of stuff from mini builders, and I get inspiration from mini builders and vice versa. So it's just been an awesome community. Everybody's super friendly, and all the collectors are really cool. And I love seeing other people's work. I love showing my work. It's been an awesome 2 years, man. It's really taken us. That's why I said it's a COVID hobby gone wild. It's crazy.
No, 100%, 100%.
I've met a ton of cool people, man. So
on Instagram, I'm just putting your tag just in case you don't follow him already and you live under some sort of weird rock.
Yeah, and my imager is the same username as my Instagram.
Imager, yep.
Mr. C5050. If anyone wants to check out a build album.
But yeah. Thanks again, man. Thanks again for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
And
awesome.
Stopping here. I don't know why you're not on everybody's show because your builds are insane.
It's the first time, man. Anytime, dude. This was awesome. I love talking dioramas and action figures, and
yeah,
I love your posts and everything. So yes, this was great, man.
What do you think? Maybe you said a couple of weeks. Maybe are we going to get the full show, the reveal? Maybe we'll drop by and do another thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
what do you guys think? Right?
You want to? That'd be great.
We'll do it up.
I do post video on Instagram sometimes, so I'll do a video tour of this thing when it's done, and everything. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited to get it done. I'm excited to get it done because, like I told you before, offline, it's a lot, man. It's gotten a little monotonous. The painting isn't my favorite, so I'm so glad painting's done. I'm so ready to start assembly. So I'm excited to move to the next build already, but I'm excited to get this one done too.
No, I know exactly what you mean, man. But we're all excited too, just because of it's a triumphant piece, man. It's huge, and not a lot of people are building big dios like this, right? So what you do is incredible, man.
And it's fun, man. I love posting the weekly progress. I love that people are interested. Like I said, it's just the whole concept of people buying my stuff is still so weird to me.
Yeah,
I'm still not used to it. I probably never will be. It's just weird to me when someone wants to pay me money for something I sat at my kitchen table and made. But here we are.
Here we are, right?
I'm super fortunate, and I'm super thankful for anybody that buys something for me, or anybody that checks out an album, or likes something of mine on Instagram. I appreciate it all.
Exactly, man. And with that, folks, we're gonna head out. Thanks again for Mr. C50, aka Mark, for spending the time with us. This is actually awesome, man. Maybe one of these days we'll do like a live build together. I don't know, do something, man. It's just he's such a super cool guy, super positive, super chill, and super talented, right? So thanks everybody again for coming out, and thanks again, BC Sasquatch Man, aka Jay. Maybe one of these days we'll get your name on there for the Facebook user thing. But I'll send this out to you. I'll go message you, man. Thanks again, everybody. We'll try to do this again. All right. Have a good night.
All right. See ya.
Bye.